Hello, and welcome to Wasteland Engineering. Wasteland Engineering is a series of videos aimed at improving your building skills in Crossout. Unlike many other vehicular combat games, Crossout gives us great freedom in how we build our vehicle. While any combination of weapons, parts, and movement can work, such a haphazardly constructed vehicle won't take you very far. The ultimate goal of Wasteland Engineering is to help you build a better vehicle by first understanding, then taking advantage of Crossout's building systems. To begin, we will be going over the two most fundamental concepts of vehicle design: compensating for part detachment and the importance of protecting our weapons. Part detachment occurs when a piece of our vehicle is no longer connected to the cabin. In combat, part detachment can become a serious problem depending on how our vehicle is built. If the parts on our vehicle are poorly connected, we could risk losing multiple parts when taking damage. You may have already encountered this while building in the garage. Parts will turn red if the game detects that the part is no longer connected to the vehicle. Let's look at a more specific example of how part detachment can affect our vehicle. We've attached a small plow to the side of our build here. The small plow has high HP, making it ideal for protecting vital parts of our build. However, in our current setup, we have not taken part attachment into consideration. Because of how it is currently attached, our small plow will be lost if the weaker connecting part is destroyed first. To prevent this from happening, we should use the following building strategies. We can reposition connecting parts so that they are better hidden from incoming attacks. If our opponent cannot feasibly hit the weaker connecting piece, then having a weaker connecting piece is not as detrimental. Alternatively, we can connect the part with more than one piece. This effectively gives the part a backup connection, preventing detachment if one of the connecting pieces is lost. We can also use tougher connecting parts. This makes the connecting part less likely to be destroyed by incidental damage. Parts that have the pass-through property are excellent for this, as they have a very high effective durability. Last, we can attach parts directly to the cabin instead. Of all of the approaches, this is the most effective approach. Attaching a part to the cabin means that there is no connecting part to worry about. It is important to remember that frames, weapons, and other items also need to be carefully secured to our vehicle with the same strategies. When building, it may be tempting to place most of our armor around the cabin. After all, when a vehicle's cabin is destroyed, the rest of the vehicle is also destroyed. But if we take a step back, we can see that our weapons are actually the most important part of our vehicle. As the primary goal of each match is to destroy the opposing team, the loss of our weapons, the loss of our ability to destroy our opponent, effectively takes us out of that match. Because of this, we want to focus on protecting our weapons first when adding armor. To start, we can do the following. We can prioritize placing our toughest armor around our weapons first. After placing armor, we should also make sure that our armor isn't obstructing the firing arc of our weapon. We should also be taking part attachment into consideration when placing our weapons. If our weapon is not mounted on our cabin, we should use several of the previously suggested strategies to prevent premature detachment. Mounting our weapons on parts with the pass-through property is a commonly used and effective strategy, more so if the pass-through part is directly connected to our cabin. We can also place our weapon behind the cabin. This effectively uses the toughest part of our vehicle, our cabin, to block for our weapons. The more effectively we can protect our weapons, the longer we can last in each battle. In this episode, we went over the two most fundamental building principles in Crossout: building to prevent part detachment and building to protect our weapons. As we end this episode, we want to keep the following guiding questions in mind. When attaching a part to my vehicle, am I taking part detachment into consideration? Am I applying any of the listed strategies to help prevent premature detachment? When adding armor to my vehicle, am I adequately protecting the most important part of my vehicle, my weapon? That's all for this episode. In the next episode of Wasteland Engineering, we will discuss what armor to use, where to place armor, and how to use armor more effectively. Thank you for watching, and see you out there in the wasteland.